Wow. So context is there's a TikTok video or a Facebook reel or a YouTube short, take your pick. I'm pretty sure it's probably across all 3 platforms at this point.
Probably.
So there is a black gentleman with what looks like a preteen to teen child in the front
12,
passenger
13.
seat, and then a younger child in the back seat.
Probably
the younger child,
5 or 6.
Younger child in the back seat goes, "Dad, what year were you born?" And the father goes, "What year was I born?" 1984. And then the father goes back to talking to the preteen to teen child.
Yeah, that's the best generation.
Best generation. And then the kid in the back goes, "Wow," because he goes, "It was the best. Those are the best days of my life. That was the best generation ever." And that's when the kid goes, "Wow." So what was it like being a slave?
What was being a slave like?
Yeah, what was being a slave like?
The older brother's face in the front was, he had this shit-eating grin, just looking straight forward the whole time. Oh, jeez. What's up, everybody?
Took a couple weeks off.
Yeah. Well, didn't I want to do it last week? I fucking remember. Everything's blending together.
Last weekend you
We're in our 40s now. Everything just blends together.
Yeah, we are. No, last weekend you were working on a belt because I spoke, like I said.
No, that was the weekend before. Or was it last weekend?
It was last weekend. Because I spoke to Mom. Like,
that's right.
Because I said something to Mom about it. She was, he was busy. Because I was like, I'm surprised he didn't hit me up for a podcast. She said, well, he was busy working on the belt, doing some projects around the house or something like that. So I was like, that makes sense. That's usually what happens. I just figured you got wound.
No, that was the 19th. That wasn't last weekend. That was the weekend before. The 19th was that show.
Yourself?
Okay, Vance.
You sound like a crazy person.
Did you see that interview? I don't remember what woman was talking to JD Vance. It was some interview, and they were talking about the migrant thing in Colorado, or the Haitian immigrants that took over the apartment complex.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few of them, and the lady was like trying to fact check them, and she goes, "Well, that was only a handful of incidents," like trying to downplay it. I'm like, even if it's one, and JD Vance, all credit to him, goes, "Do you hear yourself right now?" Like, in other words, welcome to fucking reality. That was fucking bonkers.
And the point he was trying to make it because she kept interrupting. Like, apparently now,
which is normal.
Apparently now, there's no more yelling or arguing. It's just trying to talk over. Don't stop talking, because apparently, if you don't stop talking, you win the argument.
That's filibustering.
That seems to be what the left's tactic is right now.
What's interesting is Kamala Harris is the one that wanted to get rid of filibustering in the Senate and Congress as well.
Yeah.
And yet, that's what they do.
And that's what
all the fucking time. Well, she's not really good at it. She's good at saying words. Like, she can say words just as good as the next person. It's just whether or not those words are coherent, especially if in context with what's being asked. Like, case in point, when she's asked, "What do you think is the best way that you could help solve the problem with our economy?" Let me start with, I was raised in a middle-class family. It's like, okay, here we go. This is where usually I'm not going to answer the question starts.
Yeah.
And then it just starts going off in some other fucking direction. But that's normal.
The word salad.
The filibustering thing. That's normal.
Isn't that what they called what the guy did in the video with the other guy in Congress?
No, that's filler busting.
Fill to busting. Oh, I see the play on words. He filled them till he busted.
I fucking forgot about that. That shows you what kind of fucking time we are in right now, where something as wild as that shit happens.
Two cis men.
And I fucking forgot about it. I completely forgot about it.
Two fucking dudes were butt fucking.
The last few
years.
The
Senate, right?
Boy.
The House of Congress?
I think it
was one of the.
I think it was the Senate.
The Senate, yeah.
Oh, no. What the fuck? I can't even remember what it was. Again, that just goes to show you like how fucking crazy this last
Supreme
couple
Court?
of years have been.
No.
How crazy the last few years have been that wild shit like that just gets forgotten about. At least by me. Like, I can't keep this shit straight. Apparently neither can they.
Oh, no, we kept it straight. Straight all the way in.
But they, yeah, the last few years has just been fucking wild. It all comes to a head, though. What? We're 2 days out from Halloween, which is my favorite time of the year.
6 days. No, 8 days, something like that.
Halloween?
No.
Oh, no,
Like
we're a
7 days.
week.
7 days,
A week from tonight is election night. We should do the next show on election night.
Yeah.
And just pay attention to fucking what happens. That's what we should do. I think I'm going to do that next Tuesday night.
Oh, God, dude. The polls don't close until fucking, what, 3?
Oh, we're not going to be here all night. We'll just pay attention to what's going on. No, they're not going to be done counting. They've already said in multiple states, we're not going to have the results for a week. Days to maybe a week or so after. Which is, it's fucking... Constitutionally, it's supposed to be 1 day.
Yeah.
Not pre-voting or anything like that. Not after. We're not counting votes after. If like your vote comes in 2 days later, it's not like it shouldn't be counted at all.
No, I agree.
By the Constitution. Like if you do a mail-in
I think
ballot,
Vance said something about that.
yeah, they probably have. Like if you
Or
mail
was
in,
it Vance or was it? It was Kirk, Charlie Kirk. God.
yeah, like I think most people agree that at least we'll say on the right, if you cast a ballot, an early mail-in ballot, and you mail it in, and it comes in after Election Day, it shouldn't be counted. Like, regardless of who it's for. If you fucking write in Mickey fucking Mouse, it doesn't matter. Vance, Walz, Trump,
Whoever
Harris,
said it.
whoever.
The fact of the matter is, they made a point. If you have ballots coming in, that's what the early voting is about. If you can't make it on Election Day, do the early voting system.
Yeah. But yeah, there again, like if it doesn't make it, then
You're gonna vote?
Of course I am. I'll probably go like on my lunch break, or I might just take the fucking half day that day. But that's.
I'm gonna have to do one of the early voting situations because
You could probably. Oh, you don't drive through here, do you?
No.
No, you'd have to fill out an absentee ballot.
Yeah.
Which don't trust that shit. I only say that through first-hand experience. Don't fucking trust that shit.
Yeah.
Because in 2020, my vote wasn't counted. And I didn't find out till 2 weeks after.
How did you know that?
I got an email. Yeah. I didn't say anything because everyone was going on, oh, the ballots are fucking like, they're the corruption and, you know, all that. And I was like, I don't want to jump on this bandwagon. But yeah, I actually just told her like a week or so ago. I was like, I haven't said a fucking word to anybody about this. But it was wild the way it happened. So I was living over across the way, across the bridge. So their voting place at the time was down across from the old florist place going toward Price Chopper there. So I go there to vote.
Yeah,
I go, and I was registered too. I double checked that. I double checked after the fact. Is like I checked before, got registered online, went to vote. They said, well, we don't have you in the system. I'm like, it should be. Like I'd been living there 3 years prior, so I should be there. It's like, no, were you over here? I'm like, shouldn't be, but I'll check. It's like, well, you're not in this system. Okay, come over here to
it
vote.
has to be in the county of which you reside.
But wherever your village is, like if I like here, my voting place is up the road here. There, it was at the time down there. Now it's in the plaza.
If you're going to do it that day.
Yeah, and I was.
With the early voting system now, I could go as long as I'm in the county, it's okay.
Right. Well, I was doing it. It was that day.
Yeah.
So I come over here, and I go to cast my ballot. Or they check, it's like, well, they're not here either. And then I was told by one of the people watching, it's like, well, you can fill out an absentee ballot. I'm like, okay, at least it's whatever, it's counted. So I fill out the absentee ballot, put my vote in, put it in, don't think anything about it. 2020 happens, you know, everything's like, wow. So after the election happens and, you know, we find out who's president and Biden wins. It was a couple weeks later, I get an email and I look at it and it said, your vote was invalid because, you know, the whatever. I'm like, fucking what? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? My vote. I voted for Trump back then. And I'm like, and then at that time, all the shit was going on with like, you know, there's corruption, but votes weren't counted. And I'm like, maybe maybe mine was just a fluke and shit got confused. Then I'm like, I'm not fucking registering online again because this is fucking crazy. Like, so I didn't know what the hell happened. All I know is that my vote wasn't fucking counted. So
my wallet's in the car. I saw you my voter registration card.
Yeah,
I carry it with me.
So I was like, all right. Well, I went online and double checked this year. I was like, oh no, I'm registered for this address. That is my voting location. I am in the system. Because when I went down and renewed my license, they're like, "Oh, do you want to re-register? Or you want to register to vote?" I go, "I'm pretty sure I am already. I did already." But I go, "Just make sure." And so they checked it while I was down there. It's like, "Yeah, you're all set." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm set. So if something fucking wonky happens this time, fuck you. But yeah, so I never said. But again, I didn't want to be one of. I hate like the whole bandwagon things. Like, oh, everything's corrupt. And it's like, even though that's what we fucking talk about here, it's like, well, this is bass backwards. But it just, I don't know. But yeah, so that happened. So I got fucked in 2020. Not in 2022 during midterms. That one counted. But yeah, so, yeah, I'll be voting.
I'm going to vote.
But I think a lot of people are voting. A lot of first-time voters, too, I would imagine. Anyway. Sorry, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, so next Tuesday, I think we should do a show to catch what's going on during the election. We get to see who... What are we going to do? Here's something. So, there's a video going around. This woman...
Yelling in the kid's face?
That too, I saw that. I'm like, and that's all the same fucking like group. The whole like they're all at the same base. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Some white lady screaming at some
Jordan Dowen.
Who?
Jordan Dowen.
That's her name. That's her name. Okay. I don't know if that's doxing. I don't know. Like, but that's like she's screaming. I don't. What was the reason? Because the kid's father
had a bullhorn. They were at a Harris rally or a Harris organized event, and he was a Harris supporter.
Right. Yeah. This is what like at first. Not to cut you off, but when I first saw the video and it's like, oh, this person's screaming at this kid, my first reaction is like, well, this kid's parents are probably a Trump voter or something. That's the normal, I think, anybody who's even half paying attention is like, this is what's going on. This is wild. And then I heard later, it's like, oh, no, they're all Kamala Harris supporters. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on then.
So the father took it upon himself, The father took it upon himself.
He's just throwing his earwax on my floor.
No, I fucking caught a piece of melon, picking a scab. Sorry, I got issues. No.
He's got nervous tics. Go ahead.
Crack will do that to you. So the father was yelling. He wasn't like yelling commands. I guess he was just trying to like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Hey, make sure you're over here. You're doing this. Hey, don't be too loud. Hey, be respectful. Da, da, da.
What, a megaphone?
Yeah, a bullhorn.
All right.
And apparently this Jordan Dowen, if that's her name,
Jordan Dowen,
did not like what he was saying and started giving him shit. Well, that's when the father's like, all right, I guess I'm done with this.
This isn't Jordan. This is a fucking Karen.
You're right.
Without you even finishing that sentence, like, didn't like what he was saying. You need to go here. You need to do this. Like, you can't tell me what to do.
Oh, did you? But you saw like she.
I just saw screaming. I don't know what was said.
I don't give a fuck what your dad. And that's when a black woman steps in front of her and like, whoa, no.
Yeah.
Like, Jordan, I want to meet you.
No, by the sounds of it, she would be one of those like women where you'd get in a confrontation with her, and you'd be in your car and be like, "All right, I'm just gonna go," and then she'd walk to the front corner of your car and be like, "He's gonna hit me! Oh, he's hitting me!" And she's rolling herself. You're not moving at all, and she's rolling herself down the side. He hit me, and she's just rolling on the fucking ground, spitting and everything. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Oh, racial terms. She ran me over my legs.
You okay? Pick up sleepyhead. Where's a Dodge Charger when you need it?
That's what she seems like. Where did I just see one? Today? No, it's a couple days ago.
Remember that?
That was
It's not funny.
Sort of funny.
And then there was the memes. Slightly used Dodge Charger may have some suspension issues.
No, that's not the video I was talking about.
Sorry.
No, the video I was talking about was there was this lady that was outside of a restaurant, okay, and ripped down a bunch of what she thought was Israeli flags.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah.
It's Greek flags.
Yeah, she rips it down. She's like, "Oh, Hamas, that's genocide. You know what you're putting up." She rips these down. And the fucking poor woman that's in the doorway to this restaurant just staring out there like, what's she doing? What is she doing? And then someone off the side of the camera goes, "That's a Greek flag." She goes, "Oh, it is?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's a Greek flag." She's like, "Oh, I thought it was..."
And then like the cook or the owner comes out.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I thought it was Palestine." It's like, "No. Oh, my bad. Are you sure?" Like, she's like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "Yes." So I had to laugh at that, but it was sad. It was sad because I laughed. I'm like, it's fucking broad stupid, whatever. Especially if you look at a picture of the Greek flag and the Israeli flag, like, well, it's the same color, but it doesn't fucking look anything like the other.
She's a grown-ass woman. Well, the problem is, like, do you not have Google? All right, I think that's an Israeli flag. Says it's Greek. Google, you racist liar. They're Israeli.
Well, here's the problem. Here's my problem I had with it. It was funny until I realized that she is, by her actions, most likely going to vote. Which means her vote cancels mine out.
It's a good thing
Yeah.
That's it, people. But the country's coming down to 3 votes. The rest of you can't vote. It's him, this random black woman, and me.
No, was she even... Oh, was she? All right. But yeah, I thought about it. I laughed at first, like, wow, this broad's fucking dumb. And then I'm like, fuck, she votes too. Her vote cancels mine out. I'm like, well, that's sad. And then I really had a double thought about, well, maybe we should vet voters. I don't know. I'm kidding, Path.
Vet voters?
Yeah. Vet them. Well, let's see. What are your qualifications to vote? How we vet immigrants before they come in?
Hell yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No, fuck that shit. Yes.
There's been a whole bunch of discussions.
You got to be able to read above a fucking third...
Well, that's not us.
You got to be able to read above a fucking 3rd grade level.
All right.
You got to be able to at least do fucking 3rd grade math.
Okay.
You need to have a fucking valid form of identification.
Well, didn't we do the...
and you should be a goddamn United States fucking citizen.
I think the ID is a huge thing. And the fact that it's not...
People are pushing against it.
I know, but the fact that the argument, the biggest one I've heard anyway, the argument against it is like, well, that would be racist. My question is, fucking how?
It's not racist.
Well, here's...
anybody can get a fucking ID card.
I know that, but here's the thing. I was like, okay, so the argument that it would be racist to have an ID, the argument that I see, the problem with that argument is like, okay, so what you were saying is that it would be racist for black communities to have, you would have to have an ID to vote in those communities. And they said, well, it was, they're doing that because in these communities, they know that voting polls would close earlier. I'm like, no, they don't. They fucking close like the same time. You can only vote until what? 11:59 that night, Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are. But they said, oh, it would take longer. I'm like, how would it fucking take longer? If you go to the store and buy alcohol, you present your ID. Here it is. It's a valid driver's license. Okay. It wouldn't take any longer than you have to have ID to go fucking.
That's bullshit. They have scanners now.
That too.
Boop.
They have the chips and everything in the cars
fucking
now.
IDs have barcodes on them now.
You can tap and fucking like with credit cards. Why can't they have that?
No, dead ass, dude. There's a one of the convenience stores I shop at when I'm out at work. Dead ass. I get a Black & Mild sweet wood tip every now and again. You know I've always loved my cigars.
Right.
Dead ass. There's a scanner. Like when you check the groceries, it's like, all right, can I see your ID? Just show it the thing. Boop.
Yeah, I've seen
Done.
that. They have like some of them have like a gun you scan. Same thing you do with groceries.
It verifies your fucking age.
But the the issue is the most people most of the people that argue against having an ID to present to vote are white liberal women, okay, or white liberals. What they're implying is that, and this has been said before, and this is. I've seen people go around and ask these questions like, well, black people wouldn't know where the DMV is to get their ID. Have you seen these? Like, not Charlie Kirk, but who the hell was it? It was, Project Veritas. The fuck's his name that ran that?
Oh, McGarth? No. I don't remember.
He was just on Tim Pool last night.
Yeah.
Anyway. He's gone around, and people like with him have gone around and asked like different like black people in New York City and everything. It's like, do you know where you could find a computer? And I'm like, well, if you don't have one, which most people do, or a phone, like there's a library or over here, which every community has a library with computers in it. And then they ask like, do you know where the DMV is? I heard that a lot of black people don't know where the DMV is, and they just go, yeah, it's down on whatever street, you know. So there's all these questions that they ask them. I was like, what the fuck? And the look on all their face, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I see a bunch of memes and everything with things that are said. And they're like, well, you wouldn't know how to operate a computer. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But the racial thing is like this weird projected thing. It's like, listen, we'll talk for you. What was it? Was it Family Guy or South Park? I think it was South Park where they were talking about this is with men and women. And it's like, clear, I'll answer for you. It was some I can't even.
You know what? It is a race thing. You said the majority of these people that are fighting against the IDs are white liberal women.
Right.
95% of them probably have their IDs, and that's their superiority. That's why they don't want to enforce the IDs, because they feel like they're above these white liberal Karens. These fucking left zealots think they're above you because they have their IDs and you don't. And if you get your ID, you're going to be equal to them. And they don't want that.
We want to be able to fast pay our way into theme parks.
That's what it is. It's a fucking merry-go-round. As long as they say, oh, it's a race thing. That's why you don't want to agree to it. Don't worry, we got you. No, that's them basically saying, fuck you, you're below me because I have my ID, I could do shit you can't. Wow. The communities that don't, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Jewish, you fucking name it. The communities that don't have IDs, honestly, to piss people off, should get them. You really want to piss people off? You really want to watch people's fucking heads spin? Fucking get your IDs. Watch these fuckers lose their shit.
But that would completely get rid of the whole problem where like there's the fear that illegals would vote. And there's already been
there's already been a bunch of fraudulent ballots counted and destroyed.
Destroyed, yeah. I saw it was...
No, that was just ballot boxes. No.
Yeah.
They've found like over 4,500 fraudulent ballots that, because they were fraudulent, they destroyed them.
I think I have it.
And then there's people fucking throwing Molotov cocktails in ballot boxes.
There it is. Yeah, Lancaster County launches investigation after officials discovered 2,500 fraudulent voter registration forms.
My name is Ray D'Agostino.
Yeah.
I am the Vice Chairman of the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners and also the Chairman of the Lancaster County Board of Elections. As we, the Board of County Commissioners...
I'm sorry, but if you want to streamline the process, there should be just a scanning machine.
Right.
You literally put your license, your ID, whatever. It scans it, it beeps it, it brings up your name, you verify, you make your vote, and you go. It's all computerized.
Right. Yeah, but then I added on to this, like you said, there was where was it? It wasn't Massachusetts. Portland, I think, where they had
The ballot boxes were set on
yeah,
fire.
the ballot boxes were set on fire.
Yeah.
And problem is like that was what, just one case that they've seen, one or two. I think one, there was like maybe it was two or three. One of them ended up being a misreport or just false information.
Yeah.
It didn't actually happen, but another one did. And yeah, Portland had video of ballot boxes being torched. That's one that was shown, right? So what other ones weren't shown? I mean, obviously you'd hear reports of like a ballot box being fucking destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
But we're already going to run into, like, it's not even election night yet, and we're already running into this. Like, what the fuck is going to happen next Tuesday night? Like, how many crazy things are we going to fucking hear during that?
And how many of them are going to come out to be true? Because we've made fucking jokes about crazier shit in the past.
It's
come to light.
That aside, it's not even like us being like the whole running joke is like, oh, we say things tongue in cheek. Like, this isn't really a tongue in cheek thing. This is something I think everyone across the board would be like, this is probably going to happen. The question is on what scale? Like, is it going to be like what we're hearing right now? It's like, there's one in Portland, there was one wherever, there's the PA thing, and then there is Virginia. What was it? Freaking yeah, illegals in Virginia on voter rolls. Whoops. There we go. I'm going in reverse order here.
Just yelled in the street.
Yeah, Harris, this is a stunning ruling by a federal judge who is ordering Virginia to reinstate individuals who have self-identified as non-citizens back on the voter rolls.
Yeah.
And what's even more astounding is the vast majority of these folks had presented immigration documents confirming that they were non-citizens, and we recently had that verified by federal authorities. So here we are with a judge saying, put people back on the voter rolls who you know are non-citizens. And this is under a law in Virginia that's been in effect since 2006. It has been applied by Republican and Democrat governors alike into this 90-day period. And here we are 11 days before a presidential election, and a federal judge is ordering them back on the voter rolls. It's astounding to me that this could possibly happen. I mean, listen, common sense says non-citizens aren't on the voter rolls, but the Constitution and the law say it as well. And that's why we are immediately petitioning the Fourth Circuit for an emergency stay here on this injunction. And we will immediately go to the U.S. Supreme Court if necessary.
Look,
Yeah, Harris, this is a...
Like, that's fucking bonkers. Like, but this is what I mean. Like, we're not even at election night yet. Like, we're in the home stretch right now. We're 7 days out. And already we have ballot boxes being burned. We have illegal registered votes being counted. Or not counted, depending on who it is, what side's counting, whatever the fuck. We have illegals being, like, put back on registered...
Being reinstated on the voter rolls.
Yeah. Like...
It's...
I mean, and we always talk about October surprise. It's like the big thing. Like, what's the October surprise? Like, I don't pick one. I don't fucking know yet. I mean, there's been so many fucking wild shit going on either side of the fucking aisle. We had like Trump being like, "Oh no, we're gonna." His cases got thrown out at the beginning of the month, and then like all this shit now at the end of the month. With the allegations with Walls and his fucking 14. Shut up, you! I'm trying to talk. At Walls with his 14-year-old affair back in '95 with that kid taking
that got suppressed.
Yeah, that we heard about for about 6 fucking seconds, and I just forgot about it. Oh, we're not gonna talk about it. I mean, we didn't talk about it for the last 30 years, so what the fuck's the difference now? So it's just gonna get. I say it's gonna get wild, but I'm like, but then, just as a thing I normally say, but then if I actually think about everything that's going on. I'm like, how more? What else could happen? Like, just freaking. So yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, and did you just talking about, like, you know, the whole thing's fucking politics, just presidential election season, so, but the Tony Hinchcliffe, you didn't hear anything about that? His Puerto Rican joke.
Oh,
Kill Tony?
Yeah.
That's been going around, and that's
Yeah, and he even remarks like, yeah, when you take something out of context and edit it to sound racist, blah 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 blah, because that's exactly what they did, what AOC did.
Yes, and here's the thing: the joke he said at the convention or the rally. The joke was, oh, there's a whole bunch of things going on in the world right now. Did you hear about this? There's an island of garbage out in the ocean. I think it's called Puerto Rico. And everyone at the rally, it's like there was like half reaction. Someone was like, "Oh," these other ones were laughing. And even Tony was like, "Okay, all right, see what we're gonna deal with here." Here's the problem, Tony. And this is, I guess, let's say light criticism, I guess, is criticism for Trump's rally.
Yeah.
Of all people, to open a convention, what, at the time it was 10 days before the election? Tony Hinchcliffe is a fucking roaster.
Yes, he is.
Like, if you've ever seen Kill Tony, it would be like bringing Dave Attell to open up a fucking women's convention somewhere. Like, why? No. So, here's the context behind the joke, though, that unless you know, which I didn't even know until I heard it, I'm like, oh, no shit. Puerto Rico has a problem, a large problem, I guess, with their municipal waste department and their waste management. They don't recycle anything.
Yeah.
So they have a landfill problem. So literally, they have an island that's full of garbage, and it's a problem there. And evidently, if you talk to people that live in Puerto Rico, they'll tell you that's one of their main things they complain about. So with context behind the joke he was talking about, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Was it a good joke?
Not the best time or place.
Probably not the best time or place.
It's next to the prostate. Or is that the on switch? Enough.
What the hell was that from?
Deadpool.
That's right.
You ever heard the one with the one-legged man in the asking contest? Do you have off switch? That's how that whole bit goes.
Is that the first one?
Yeah, it was the first one.
I haven't seen that one quite some time.
End of November.
End of November, what?
Deadpool and Wolverine's gonna be on Disney Plus.
Oh, I don't care. I don't have Disney Plus.
I do.
I think she does, but I just... How many rants have we had about Disney on here? How many rants about all their shows they've come out with and be like, fuck it, like, I don't fucking care.
I don't watch the garbage.
So I'd rather just buy the Deadpool movie and say fuck all with Disney Plus, because I did like 2 years ago.
Buying the movie, won't you be supporting Disney?
Well, that's Sony. I mean, Disney bought it, but that's I know that was Fox. That's right. Either way,
Disney better not buy Sony.
Well, the point is,
you can fuck off.
The point isn't whether or not I'm supporting Disney. I mean, I guess that is half the point, yes. But the point is
it's not the point. It's only half the point.
Yeah.
It's the point.
Yeah. The point is,
vote Democrat. Wait, what the fuck?
Do I spend, what is it, like $10, $12 or whatever a month for Disney Plus?
It depends.
I don't know
now
what it is
they
now.
offer bundles, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but do I spend that like for however many months to watch one movie, or do I just buy the movie for what, $20, $25?
Yeah.
And have the movie and not, everything else that's on there, like Predator, I already have all those. And who the fuck knows how long it's going to be until they go along and be like, we're going to edit some things like we did in Star Wars and all the audio tracks. And they even do it in Indiana Jones and all that shit now, where they change little things here and there.
You remember Lilo and Stitch, right?
I mean, I've seen it like once maybe, so.
In the original DVD release.
Right.
The little girl, I forgot what her name was. Lilo.
Title character. Who the fuck is that?
What was the sister's name?
I don't know. The adult one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the big head. The one with the thick hips.
I was waiting for that.
Oh.
That cartoon character is built
very well.
She's filled out. What the fuck's wrong with you people? Get your minds out of the gutter. It's like
she's over 18.
It's a cartoon character. Anyway, you're
logically, hold on a second. Logically, if you think about it, in order for her to be able to adopt her own little sister, she has to be over 18.
That is true.
There you go. Just like Princess Peach. You ever seen the new Super Mario Brothers movie?
Yes.
Do you see her in that leather outfit get on the bike?
Maybe. I think I remember that. Well, that was during the race thingy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that scene very well. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
don't. So it obviously, it's funny. I'm a bigger fan of Mario than I am Lilo and Stitch, and I watched Lilo and Stitch once, and I more remember her sister than I do fucking Princess Peach. So what the fuck's that?
All I can think about is
what the fuck happened here? What are we talking about?
Hold on. Peach had some cake. That's all I'm gonna say. Peach had a cake. So in the original release of Lilo and Stitch, when Lilo's running to hide,
Right.
you see it in the movie. She climbs in the dryer
Okay.
and closes the door. Mm-hmm. And once Disney did the whole woke broke thing, it became a pizza box cover on a cabinet.
Really?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll show you.
Well, okay. So I'll say this. That I don't know if I would classify that under the woke broke thing. I would classify that under the newer generations. They have a warning label on everything, and I had this conversation. I don't know if I brought it up with you. Yeah, I don't know. But,
Kid climbing in the dryer.
yeah, I don't
They changed
know.
to a pizza box cover so there's no chance the kid gets trapped.
I don't
Or the dryer
know.
gets turned on.
I don't know if I told you about it.
I set it on time drive for 60 minutes.
I had this conversation with somebody, and they were talking about like the old generations. They I think I did talk about you. It's like they had the warning labels, or in the manuals they had they taught you how to change whatever filters or blah 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 in your vehicles, and now they tell you not to drink the contents of the battery. I was talking to you. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like, well, we can't show a kid getting into a dryer because then kids will try and get in the dryer, and it's all.
We did and turned out fine.
Yeah, but it's all liability, and now, well, yes, sort of.
No, but yeah.
But that's what you have to do. Because if they have a cartoon and be like, look, I saw Lilo getting in there and she turns out all right. She's got an imaginary fucking monster thing she talks to or whatever.
Bullshit. We don't. Yeah, no. It's survival of the fittest.
Go ahead.
Darwinism.
That's true. See, that's why Bill Gates thinks everything's overpopulated now. It's like he's probably back in one of his mansions going, "Well, you fucking change this bullshit. This is how you kill off all the fucking idiots."
Why? Movie 43.
What the hell is that?
Remember all the clips of the random movies, the ideas he's pitching? You told me about the movie. Hugh Jackman's got balls on his chin.
Movie 43.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you about that.
Yes, you did.
When?
Years ago.
Oh, God. And it's possible.
Been a while.
It's possible.
The girl from Scary Movie wants Chris Evans to sit on. Not Chris Evans. Who plays Star-Lord?
Chris
Pratt.
No, Chris Pratt, yeah.
Like Chris Pratt
One
and
of those Chris's.
the girl from Scary Movie,
Yep.
the main chick, Cindy. They're like on a first date, and I really want you to shit on me, and he ends up like eating a fuck ton of Taco Bell, gets hit by a car and splatters the windshield. Then there's the scene where
I really wish I remember telling you about this movie because
Oh my
I don't.
God.
I don't remember the movie at all. Did I see it?
Yes, you were the one who told me to check it out.
It's possible.
Jesus.
You see, this is what happens when you reach that limit of what's in my fucking mind.
Movie 43. Like the beginning is like Holly Berry and a tall skinny guy are on a date, and he goes, "Let's play truth or dare." And by the end of it, she's got huge breast implants, and he's like a transvestite or some shit.
I'll have to rent the movie or whatever, or whatever the fuck you do now.
It's on Tubu.
Tubu?
Tubi.
Tubi. Okay.
Yeah, Tubi.
Okay.
Tubi's free.
I'll have to
Tubi.
watch it. It's on here. That's what I usually watch when I'm doing leather stuff. But I'll have to watch it on there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's okay.
Did you watch that? Speaking of video, did you watch that video I sent you?
Oh,
The
well,
one-
Helldivers.
Yeah. The cinematic like scenes. I watched that.
I watched it for the almost the entire ride
Yeah,
home.
I laughed my ass off. Like this is fucking great.
Tell Linda. Tell Heather.
It's like tell Tina.
Tell Tina.
It's like tell Tina. You tell Tina yourself. Some of those were. Did you see the very last clip? That cracked me up. It's like stand there, the explosion goes, then the just it's happened to everybody. The rover just goes, "Fuck you!" and one shot him in the head, and he just drops, catches fire. I'm like, yeah, I saw that, and I'm like,
Look at all these ships over this deserted planet.
this
that
godforsaken rock.
the Helldivers want to take for their own. How did you do that, man?
Oh man, yeah, that was a good clip.
I like that. Was funny. That was funny.
Oh, the that game. That's what I was gonna tell you. That Girly got. Okay. It's you ride dragons, and it's basically a PvP. Dogfighting with dragons. Okay. Dude,
Did you really?
if it's not Warhawk with dragons, I watched her play,
And then you played.
and the quickness of it, and like the reaction, the steering, and like this the falling, it was like instantly my instinct of how to play just came roaring back, and I'm watching like it's just like Warhawk. You see the icons of where they are. I knew exactly where they were, flying above her, behind her as she was turning, and I'm like, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to combat them. It's like, she goes, "Do you want to try?" I'm like, "No." I like,
No.
yeah. I'm like,
No, Daddy, no.
it's Warhawk without the ground battle. It's all dogfighting, but it's with dragons.
I would try.
And
it,
there's
would
like
you?
there's like balls of fire. There's this like straight stream of fire, and
We
it's
should try
free
it.
too.
It's free. We should try it. Like Brawlhalla.
I got a good 5 years on Brawlhalla, and I think I'm not retired, but I'm not balls deep in Brawlhalla anymore.
No.
It's just it's yeah. Right now, Helldivers is my go-to, and I'm happy
I jumped
with that.
on after you sent me the Mega Man. Mega Man became. You sent me a picture.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I went and checked it out. I did training, offline play, couch, whatever. And I was like, oh, Mega Man's kind of fun. It's a cool player, actually. I'm like, oh, let me try a 2v2. Fucking 5. I got 5 kills. My partner, 0.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. Like
I was like, oh,
you-
these guys suck.
the only thing that happens is you might lose a step in timing, like quickness, but you don't forget much of how to battle. Like I picked right up where I left off, and yeah, it took like a match or two, and where I got like back to like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
But then I set it down after I was like, just not interested.
I think I'm at the same point, though.
It was fun.
I'm not retired, but
Yeah,
I won't play hard anymore.
I had a good run. It was fun, and every now and again turning it on, like it's fine. But like, yeah,
Dragons, huh?
I don't want to get like super involved in that. It's. I'm telling you, as soon as you see it, you're like most of the time you're on the ground. But as soon as I saw her flying, and I'm like, It's Warhawk. If you take like of what everything that's going on, at least in my head, like I saw everything that was going on. I saw her flying, saw her going between things and stuff, and she's actually picked it up pretty good. So like, wow. But I saw her going between things, and instantly it's just like, it's like the facade of dragons fell off, and I just saw like the objects moving. They live. The landscape around like shifting.
Put on the glasses.
Yeah, and the landscape shifting around. And I was like, this is exactly how that plays out. It's the same thing. Like, the only thing that's different is there's no radar. Because in Warhawk, I would watch the radar and see everything else out of the corner of my eye, and that's how I would play. So I would fight as I was looking, and every now and again I'd look up at the screen, where I'm sure everyone else, when they play, they look at the screen, every now and again look at the radar. I was like, nah, I radar watch the whole time, and I know exactly where everybody is all the time around me. There's no radar, but there's the icons, and that was Starhawk. And I was just as good at Starhawk. So
Starhawk is what finally got me into flying.
Yeah, I can watch. So I'm like, that's a dangerous game. Don't do it. Now, if they combined Helldivers...
I'm going to go down and play it. I'm going to go out and download it after this.
And like I said, it's free. We got 3 games today. And that was one of... She got one that was like kind of Legos and dinosaurs and stuff. And then she was going down the list. She's like, what's that?
All free games?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And she saw that. And I'm like, oh, no, let's look at the trailer for it. She's like, oh, I want that. I'm like, go ahead. It's free games. You can get as many as you want. I don't care. So, yeah, I think it's Warhawk, though. Now, I have to play it and actually get the feel, but just watching it and watching how like, smooth it was like, and you could tell it's an older, like, engine. Yeah. It's a free game, indie. It looks good. The graphics look good for what it is. It's like kind of like Helldivers. Like it's an older engine, but it looks good.
Yeah.
So it's like that. But it's a typical modern free game. Game's free, but like Brawlhalla, if you want all the extra shit, you're gonna drop a shit ton of money. Mm-hmm. There was a Reddit post that said, "How much money have you dropped on Brawlhalla?" And I was looking at people like, "Oh, $90, $80, $100." And I'm like. I just put like way fucking too much. I go, but I got a good 5 years out of it, and
yeah.
But that was Brawlhalla was like right in the peak of like the belt selling thing. So,
oh yeah,
I probably dropped. I would say without exaggeration, give or take $50, probably dropped about $500 into that game, $400 or $500 somewhere in there.
Not that much for me.
But it was all fuck you money.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sold a belt.
Which we don't have any of.
No, not now.
And neither does Chicago.
There's an extra,
as a matter of fact,
$400.
I think Chicago is going to have plenty of fuck you money because they're raising the property taxes.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah, $300 million.
All
Mayor Jackson. I think it's Chicago. It might just be something with it. I think it was Chicago. I'm pretty sure it was Chicago.
Jesus.
He's
$300 million. That's what they're hoping to get out of.
No, that's what they're raising the taxes to accumulate up to.
Oh yeah, okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to. Okay.
And when a reporter asked, yeah, that didn't work. When a reporter asked, where's this money going to come from? Well, like we've always said, we should tax the wealthy. But unfortunately, we are going to have to raise property taxes on everybody. That is
such. I hate this. We need to tax the wealthy, or they need to pay their fair share. It's like, fucker, they pay like 40-some% of the tax base. Like the top, top 3 or 1% or whatever.
But the majority, the problem is the majority of the fucking people don't seem to realize it's not fair. He has $1 billion. I only work at McDonald's and flip burgers 1 hour a day for 5 days in a month.
I don't know if it's they don't realize it. They just fail to. They failed to. I don't want to say recognize. I think they just choose nothing. It's like no, that can't be.
No, it's entitlement. It's not fair. They have all that money. They've only put fucking 30 years of their life
for working.
Yeah. Fuck them for putting 20 years of their life, blood, sweat, and tears into a fucking job.
Stop trying to better yourself.
Made money. It's not fair. I'm sitting here doing, like I just said, a 1 hour a day job, 5 days a month. I should have $100 million in my account.
Yeah.
I work. Bitch, when you fucking think it's grateful, you're happy that you didn't break 60 hours in a week, then you have the right to fucking say you work.
Yeah, but dealing with people's hard. Roll your eyes, jeez Louise. No, I didn't hear anything about that. Here's the prop. All right, this is the biggest flaw. That's what they're trying to do. Is like we're going to tax like the rich more money.
If I remember correctly, hold on. You gotta talk.
Because if that's what they're going to do, here's a huge flaw with that argument. All you're going to do, and the same thing that happened during the pandemic down the city, you're just going to drive all those rich people out of Chicago. Good fucking idea. And if that's what they're going to do, if that's the plan, I don't know how that got outside of the room where that idea sprung up. Because I figured someone would have been like, won't that just drive people out of here?
Okay.
All right. What actually is it?
Hold on.
I just find it hard. I'm hard
Maybe
pressed.
it wasn't Chicago. Sorry.
Tell me it's Detroit.
Mayor Jackson goes to with election day. This was 8 days away. So what's today? So today's the first. So what?
It's like Monday.
Yeah.
It would have been Monday. Yeah.
Jackson Mayor Randy, with the election day just 8 days away, Jackson Mayor Randy Evans made a pitch for the passage of the Jackson City income tax issue. So it's Jackson City something. Tax issue, which is on the citywide general election ballot. Speaking during the Monday event, October 28th, meeting of Jackson City Council, Evans stressed the importance of preserving the city income tax, which has provided vital funding for blah, 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 blah. That's not working. Hold on. There you go. Jackson County asked homeowners for property tax increase to fund senior services. No, that's not. Kansas City, Montana. No. That's not right.
Yeah, I'm glad you looked this up though, because
There it is. Oh, it's a video, but hold on.
That whole idea that it's like
The best and safest FC24 coin service.
Mayor Johnson. Hold on a second. God damn it.
bear with us, amount of technology. Yeah, it would just seem crazy that it's like, oh, we're going to tax the more wealthy so we can drive them out of the city, because fuck them. Who would want them here?
That's no sound. Hold on. No. God damn it.
First,
There we go. Oh, fuck you. I have to pay. Fuck you. Cleveland Mayor proposed.
was it Times Union? Or
Mayor
New York
Maynard
Times?
Jackson proposed raising property taxes to pay for more police. Oh, this is it right here. Mayor Brandon. Oh, this is the video. Oh, it's okay. Whatever. Let's see if I can go to the link.
Hey, Valentini, good morning. Mayor Brandon Johnson says he plans to raise property taxes next year, walking back a major campaign promise. This all comes as the city faces a nearly $1 billion budget deficit. Let's take you inside City Hall right now. This is a live look inside council chambers happening as we speak. There's public comment happening right now ahead of the mayor's speech, which was interrupted for about 10 minutes or so. Now, in the mayor's budget, he's calling to raise property taxes by $300 million and eliminate more than 700 vacant positions, more than half of which are from CPD. The mayor proposed increasing
CPD, Chicago Police Department, right?
Weekend
Okay.
rates to the same level as weekdays.
Wow.
The city will also allocate $145 million one-time dollars from the American Rescue Plan, which is COVID stimulus dollars. The mayor also says there will be no layoffs under his proposed spending plan for the next year. Now, this is all in an effort to balance the $17 billion budget. The mayor is also hoping to spend millions on anti-violence efforts, youth employment, and assistance for
Just tell me to pause if you need to.
Yeah, pause it for a second. Wait, they're drawing this out of their COVID budget? Is that what they just said?
They're going
Rewind
to
it,
allocate $145 million from the COVID budget.
That's what I mean.
Not all of it. So what is in their budget that they can
From
allocate?
COVID money.
A one-time allocation.
Yeah,
Yes.
from COVID money.
Hold on.
That was just printed money.
Under his proposed spending plan for the next year. Now, this is all in an effort to balance the $17 billion budget. weekend parking rates to the same level as weekdays. The city will also allocate $145 million one-time dollars from the American Rescue Plan, which is COVID stimulus dollars. The mayor also says there will be no layoffs under his proposed.
The COVID stimulus dollars, that was printed money, that was made up money, which is one in part of why we're in the situation financially we're in right now. That's fucking money that doesn't actually, like, we don't really have. Yeah. Or they're going to put out there, they're using it, and that's just going to drive fucking prices up, drive value down. So that's what they're going to do. They're just going to cause a bigger fucking problem. So, you know what I think's happening? They're going to do this, and they're just going to cause a bigger problem for, like, if polls, which fucking, depending on what poll you watch, it polled true, and Republicans take over the House, Senate.
The only poll I watch usually has a strobe light coming up behind it.
The House, Senate, and the presidential election.
Don't turn on the lights.
They're just going to cause a bigger problem later for the next administration to fix.
Well, speaking of administrations, I mean, bigger problems. The whole fucking disqualifying Trump thing. You saw that TikTok?
Yeah.
He never says they charge in that video. He never says they charged with insurrection.
No,
he never says that. They keep referring to him as an insurrectionist.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that screenshot I sent you? I'd seen that video before about the clicking the screen to make the vote,
and it's gone.
Literally, I'll show you what happened. I open up TikTok. I saw you send a message. I click it. I click you. I see the video, and then what the fuck? It just turns into that. I saw the icon like that. I went to click it, and before I could touch it, it turned into that. Post from Lisa Dixie isn't available.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah, and the video, I'll describe it in very illicit detail. It shows an early registration, which I'm assuming they weren't supposed to have the camera in their recording. Okay, fine. If that's what you want to strike the video down for, be my guest.
Yeah. The point is not... this conversation isn't about the video being or not being there.
It's not about the... Yes, obviously the video wasn't supposed to be taken. But what the video depicts is you go to click Trump and it's not registering.
Yeah,
you click toward the bottom of the Trump box, automatically it highlights that Harris Waltz icon.
It wasn't even like the bottom. It was like if you split the rectangle in the top and bottom half, he was clicking it and it wouldn't do anything. And he just shifted down ever so slightly and hit it, and it went to Harris underneath. And that's why I saw that. I'm like, here we go. I was like, this is a start. But yeah, going back to the video you were talking about.
Oh yeah, okay, hold on.
I am not surprised. I couldn't even remember what the hell I sent you. I'm like, was that the news article of the ballot boxes burning? I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If Kamala Harris was never meant to actually take office as the next president of the United States, what if...
Keep going.
She was simply put up as a distraction. So while conservatives, while the right is over here waving their victory flags, laughing at her because she is a laughingstock, she's hilarious, but already taking the victory lap, if you will, not understanding that she was put up simply to be a distraction because the real strategy is taking place behind the curtains. And let me explain this to you for just a second for those of you who aren't...
Really quick, before he goes on. What did I say half a dozen podcasts ago about what if the left isn't really that dumb? What if they're like 10, 15 steps ahead trying to plan everything out? What if everything that's happened, they've actually been trying to orchestrate or able to plan off of and play off of?
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Who aren't understanding where I'm coming from. Jamie Raskin, the congressman from Maryland, has been parroting this specific line, stating that even if Donald Trump is voted in, because it looks like he's absolutely going to be, that they will invoke the 14th Amendment, Section 3, which states that it disqualifies as a provision any former government official from holding office if they took an oath to support the Constitution, but then betrayed it by engaging in an insurrection.
Which he did
and
not.
they've called Donald Trump consistently an insurrectionist, even though not one charge of insurrection has been brought against him. He is saying that on J 6th, 2025, regardless of what happens on November 5th, 2024, if they're going to disqualify him, and he says, when this happens, there will be civil unrest. I want you to listen to this real quick. Watch this.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6th.
Section 3 was the article, or is the 14th Amendment, Section 3. That's the one that talks about insurrection, like for any elected member of Congress, a Senate,
Government-held position.
A government-held position, yeah, and whatever branch, president, anything. If they either commit an insurrection, lead an insurrection, or they harbor or aid a foreign adversary, then they are basically unfit to serve in office, and they can get impeached or whatever, or just be ineligible to serve. So that's what that is. Go ahead.
2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified, and then we need bodyguards for everybody in civil war conditions.
So they will effectively...
So wait. He basically just said, if things don't go our way, bad things are going to happen. We need protection. So
I don't now.
How much
I
you want to
wouldn't
bet he'll be given if this happens? How much you want to bet there's going to be fucking thousands of enforcement there?
I think either way, and this because this election cycle is so heated. I think there's going to be, at the very least, a lot of heated debates and questioning, regardless of who wins. If Trump wins, it's Russia collusion, Mark II, and if I was going to say Hillary, if Kamala wins, it's going to be rigged Mark II. Like, no matter who wins, there's going to be there's going to be half the country where I'm like, wait. Go ahead.
Will effectively, and they've been saying this, that they're going to invoke this. They're going to put this into play. So it doesn't matter what the will of the people is and the fact that people voted Donald Trump in. It'll be the fact that they are going to attempt to disqualify him, and they've been putting some strategy in place. What is that strategy, Joey? Well, let me share it with you. What they're getting ready to do, number one, on November 5th, they're going to conduct, the Department of Homeland Security is part of a massive cyber security full-scale exercise that's taking place in Atlanta, Georgia. Why would the DHS, on election day, when we conduct our elections for the President of the United States, they're conducting a full-scale cybersecurity exercise? Strategically, it makes perfect sense. Then you move forward to January 6, 2025. Now, does it make sense? The DOD's Directive 5240-01, which allows for assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities by use of the United States military against civilians. Why would they do this?
Martial law.
This is what you call martial law. This is what you call a collective effort.
You keep that going.
To attack the
Something
American
to tie
people.
in with it.
And I want you to understand very clearly what's actually taking place here. There's a strategy being put together, people, because they understand that if...
Really quick, if this video, if our channel ever pops and people are fucking like, oh my God, these guys are great. They never give shout outs though. Peanut Butter Melly too, my man. You seem like a well-educated, well-versed, actually all-around engageful and engaging conversationalist. Pretty good looking dude.
If they can take the will of the people and shove it down and kill it, crush it. Oh, that's who you voted for? No. We're going to disqualify him. And now we'll install whoever we want. We'll put lockdowns. We'll go ahead and issue martial law. We'll lock everything down and we'll install the leader who we say. This is so extremely crucial and pivotal as we are moving into the last couple of days into this election. Understand that there's strategy at play, and I hope
Pause that
I
for a
am
second.
100% wrong.
Just to go along with the whole martial law thing, I have a couple things to say in regards to what he's talking about, but to tie in with that specifically, so this is from RFK on October 25th. So the DOD directive, that Biden and Harris have just pushed through the DOD directive 5250.01, giving Pentagon power for the first time in history to use lethal force to kill Americans on U.S. soil to protest government policies.
Okay. Do me a favor. Repeat that. Sorry.
Biden and Harris have just pushed through DOD Directive 5250.01, giving the Pentagon power for the first time in history to use lethal force to kill Americans on U.S. soil who protest government policies.
So the reason I asked you to repeat that, you'll understand very clearly in a minute. So you're telling me that our current administration has authorized the use of lethal force to execute people who protest.
Evidently, here.
Now, the reason I'm emphasizing this is because you're telling me in a country, a first world country.
This episode's getting taken down. I almost guarantee it. Go ahead.
I welcome the challenge. You're telling me that in a first world country, we no longer have the right to protest.
Evidently not.
You mean like some other countries where they will literally walk up and shoot people in the head for desecrating a flag, which you can do over here freely. For protesting anything, speaking out against your government, preaching in the street, being homosexual, in other countries where you can be murdered for these crimes, as they call it. But here in America, where this is supposed to be allowed, Biden and Harris, the administration that they currently govern, can just push it through that they'll be able to.
Evidently. This is for, I think Joe Rogan read it.
0.01, giving the Pentagon power.
Yeah.
That the Biden administration pushed through.
I think it's the same thing.
New martial law thing. Yeah, this is very disturbing. Jamie, please Google this so we can find out what the actual law states. But it's DOD Directive 5240.01, giving the Pentagon power for the first time in history to use lethal force to kill Americans on U.S. soil who protest government policies.
What are they expecting?
5250.01, so it sounds right.
Is that what it is?
All right.
Did I tell you what it is? I'm sorry. 5240.01. DOD directive. This is from RFK Jr. Posted this on Twitter, and I'm finding out about it because people are blowing me up about it. That's fucking terrifying.
Hold on.
That is a terrifying thing to push through.
What?
I'm on Google right now.
Mm-hmm.
I typed in 5240.01.
The DOD directive?
Directive, listen.
All right.
Okay. Oh, crap. The Department of Defense DOD Directive 5240.01 is a policy document that governs the assistance provided by DOD intelligence components to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. The directive was most recently updated September 27, 2024.
Okay.
The directive implements Executive Orders 12333 and 13388 and Title 50 of the United States Code. Oops, sorry. Not trying to play footsies with you. Can you look that up really quick? Because the reason I asked
What is it?
One Executive Order 12333 and 13388 and Title 50 of the United States Code. What are those?
Executive Order 12333, United States Intelligence activities is a presidential order that establishes the framework for U.S. intelligence activities and protects civil liberties and privacy. The order gives the U.S. intelligence agencies more power and responsibility and requires federal agencies to cooperate with CIA. It also, in other words, allowing CIA to operate within the United States. Anyway, it also allows the National Security Agency, NSA, to collect, analyze, retain, and share foreign signals intelligence.
Okay. Now what's 13.388?
13.388. 13.388. That is executive order signed by George W. Intend to improve the sharing of terrorism information among federal agencies.
Okay. And what's Title 50 of the United States Code?
Hold on, I'm looking through the 13.388. Directed federal agencies to improve the sharing of terrorism information, reassign intelligence agencies to report to the Director of National Intelligence instead of the Director of Central Intelligence, created the Information Sharing Council to advise on establishing all right. What I figured. What was the other one?
Title 50 of the United States Code.
Title 50, okay. Yes, Title 50. Title 50 of the United States Code governs the federal government's organization and employees. It includes a variety of laws such as administrative provisions, the Freedom of Information Act, Privacy Act of 1974 and Congressional Review Act, federal employee laws, authorization for the Office of Personnel Management and the General Salary Schedule, and Executive Schedule classification systems, federal holidays, Title 5.
Okay.
Oh, that's Title 5. No. Let's get on the right track here.
You forgot the 0.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I put 5P. All right, Title 50, United States Code. Sorry about that. Is about the role of war and national defense in the United States. It includes topics such as the Council of National Defense, alien enemies, espionage, arsenals, armories, and war material, national security, defense industrial reserves, servicemen civil relief, trading with the enemy, defense production, export, administration. Some examples of sections in Title 50 include 50 U.S.C. 797, which is the penalty for violating security regulations and orders, and 50 U.S.C. 1520, use of human subjects for testing of chemical or biological agents by the Department of Defense.
Okay. So, all right, so I'll continue reading. The directive implements Executive Orders 12.333 and 13.388 and Title 50 of the United States Code, establishes policy and guidelines for DoD intelligence activities, assigns responsibilities for defense intelligence component intelligence assistance. The directive protects the legal and constitutional rights, privacy, and civil liberties of U.S. persons. It also authorizes defense intelligence components to collect, retain, and share information about U.S. persons. The directive does not grant new powers to the military. Military policies are subject to U.S. law and do not create new legal authorities. So, in that quick synopsis, it doesn't say anything about using lethal force against U.S. citizens. I'm not trying to say...
Yeah, I was like, wait,
wrong.
which one was I looking up here? 01. That's the old one. I wonder where he got that from then. Without having to read through the entire thing.
All right, hold on. The Center for an Informed Public, cip.uw.edu. So this is a government, EDU stands for education, obviously, or educational. It is a government-regulated website, which means they have to approve. Rapid research note. This rapid research note is part of an ongoing series of rapid research blogs, blah, blah, blah. Key takeaways. Early last week, rumors started to spread between multiple social media platforms and across political communities online about a recently reissued Department of Defense Directive 5240.01 that documents procedures when there is a potential use of lethal force. Some online communities have speculated that the directive's changes are timed with the upcoming election, with some suggesting, without evidence, that the intent behind the change is that the government is planning to use force against Americans.
I don't think it would be planned to use force against Americans. I just think, because I'm reading a condensed version of what you're reading right now, I think what it is just basically insurance policy. Shit, if something happens, this isn't going to cause issue to, this isn't going to give that side that, the figurative ammo, Jesus hell, the figurative ammo to rise up and, rebel against the United States or the government anyway. And so, you killed Americans on American soil. You can, well, no, because this. Do they plan on that happening? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I think at the very least that would cover that. Whether that's their intention or not, I don't know, but that would cover that. Dog.
Oh, thank you. I'm like, did I hear something?
Are you okay?
Am I fucking crazy? I always do that.
But going back to that video.
Yeah.
One, they was talking about the 14th Amendment and the insurrection thing. And like I said to you, and initially right off the bat, I saw, they're like, they're talking about the insurrection. Insurrection is like, yeah, but he wasn't charged.
No.
Like, you can sit there and be like, that party or that whoever is saying, it's like, well, they keep calling them insurrectionists. Like, I can sit here and call you a fucking murderer or terrorist till the cows come home.
Doesn't mean
but unless somebody comes in here and actually arrests you, charges you, or arraigns you, and then and convicts you of it, it doesn't mean jack shit.
No.
Like, it doesn't matter. So when they say, well, he's calling him insurrectionist and they can use the 14th Amendment, Section 3, I'm like, how? Because he hasn't been. They haven't even charged any. Not one single charge. So how the hell are they going to do that? But go ahead.
I was say it sounds more to me like it's a scare tactic.
Yeah,
like it wants people to not vote for Trump,
and that's what most of this is. But just plain devil's advocate, if by some miraculous chance and some divine intervention for fucking somebody, like who supports the Harris campaign, let's say he gets elected and he's about to take office, him and Vance, and then they come along and be like, well, no, you can't serve, you're ineligible because insurrection, and somehow that goes through, even without a charge. That still doesn't work for them because right off the bat, Vance takes his place because of the 25th Amendment. Mm-hmm. The 25th Amendment says if a president dies, is incapable, or is removed,
the vice
president automatically takes over. Now, where the conspiracy theory comes in after that, I mean, like, this is like, I was thinking 14 steps ahead. Vance was a never-Trumper 8 years ago. Like, he was definitely not a Donald Trump person. And suddenly he is. So then, like, just going on, if just jumping on the conspiracy theory bandwagon and be like, well, what if Vance is a fucking mole? And this is what they plan to do. And then they put Vance in, and now they have the Republicans in their back pocket. Sorry to put that in your heads, but
yeah, he wanted to put something somewhere, and I talked about it.
You all got fucked.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
But I mean, going back, like, there's just there's too many, like, well, maybe, I don't know how that would work. But then again, Kamala Harris got installed as the candidate. So
well, here's the thing, though, and as much as I hate to almost sound like hey, they're kind of right. Can you show me where it actually says they can't do that? I'm curious. Because I've heard people say it's worded the way it's worded. Technically, they didn't break the law.
It's not that they can't put her where she is. The problem is during the DNC, when all those, not the what the fuck is the name of the votes she got? I can't even remember.
What nomination?
Yeah, air quotes. Like 3,500 of, like, they were for Joe Biden. You can't just be like, sorry, I know.
So wait, he actually had the majority of votes?
He was supposed to be the Democratic nominee. Then he stepped down right before the DNC. She went in. She's like, oh, I'm the person now. And they gave Joe Biden's votes to her. She can go in there and be like, oh, I'm the actual, like, the new nominee. But those delegate votes were for Joe Biden. That's the problem. That's where the problem was. Like, they could have gone in and just fucking wanted a fucking, I don't know. Actually, it would have been fitting to put in an elephant. But anyway. But yeah, that was the problem.
I got a white hair.
Now, what the hell, how are we talking about that?
Oh, just about.
Oh, yeah. So, going back to the whole video thing. Yeah, the 25th Amendment would protect them with that. So I don't understand how, where they would draw that from.
Tulsa Gabby. That's her name, right? Tulsi.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard.
She used to be Democratic. That's it. Told you.
Well, now she's
Democrats.
in the Trump.
Yep, the Democrats, 15 moves ahead. They started planning sleeper cells. Someone read the fucking Russian code. Way to go, assholes.
Here's the thing, though. If that was... Now we're getting into, like, movie territory. This is just getting fucking just wild beyond wild. So don't take this with, like, a fucking whole canister of salt. If they were to do something like that, if this was a James Bond level coup, the unrest and, I think, at first, disbelief... By the
Until
entire...
Bucky starts fucking punching heads off.
By the
then
entire,
we realize it's not a joke.
By the entire voter base, I think the disbelief would be like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what? And then after that, the unrest would be ungodly. Like, it would be beyond anything I could imagine. Because that would be such fuckery. Yeah, I think it would just be straight anger.
Summer of Love 2024.
I guess. But...
Your Vans Warped Tour round 2. You
Yeah.
hear that's coming back, right?
I did see something about
I
it.
kind of want to go to one. I want to go to it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still stuck on the whole. That video. There's too many. It seems like an Alex Jones kind of video.
It does.
Where
just about it does seem a little outlandish and maybe a little bit too much. Hey,
there's some jumps. He's got a lot of information there, but there's some things in it where he's like, you just went from A to M. Like, there's a whole bunch of things in there that would have to happen for you to make that kind of jump. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but there's a few things where I'm like, I don't like making those kind of jumps. At least for me, it's like, that's too easy to do. That's too easy. That'd be like me going like, man, Obama definitely is the still president. Okay. Where is your concrete proof, though? Like, concrete proof. I mean, it's easy to say, like, well, Joe Biden kept a whole bunch of policies and stuff that Obama was like, yeah, but Obama was a party person. He was part of the party. So was Biden. So was Harris. The party wants that. It's not Obama. Like, everyone wants to put Obama on this pedestal, like, he is the mastermind. He is. It's like, no, he's not. Because here's the thing. If we're going to run down that rabbit hole, the mastermind isn't going to fucking make themselves known like this. Plastered all over everything. At every convention, throwing Eminem lyrics down and fucking bullshit like that. He's not going to do that. The mastermind is going to sit somewhere where nobody fucking knows what he looks like. She, whoever. They're not going to have a face. God, it's probably a bunch of people. It's probably a whole fucking room of tycoons and whoever the fuck. And you're not going to know a single fucking person. Any of them.
It's probably a handful of people still at Olive Grove.
That's what probably. That's who's going to run the show. Obama is just a talking head. Obama's up there like, oh yeah, we got charisma. That's why everyone fucking loved him. Even though some of his policies were absolute dog shit garbage. But everyone loved him because he had charisma.
Bill Clinton.
Him too.
Yep.
They're all the same.
Democrats seem to have a
They're good with the young people because that's who they. I mean, look at me. I got caught up in all that bullshit. What in 2006, 7, 8? Fuck the Republicans. Because I was young. I didn't know any better. I didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Although I only half argue that because, like I said before, they were against like the big government and stuff, and I don't know what happened, but either way, like I got sucked into the whole Obama train thing, and like, oh, I inhaled. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, fuck yeah, guy. Like, but seriously, I mean, that's what they do. And Kamala Harris nowadays, they just go right out and say it. It's like, young people are stupid.
No.
And everyone's like, yeah, we are.
They're garbage.
Well, that was the new one.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole. All right.
Biden legit called half of America garbage.
Which is funny because every time now, maybe this is. I don't even know. I think this is just bad on both parties. This is like watching two sports teams just fuck up like in the Super Bowl or World Series to be like, how the hell did either of these teams get here? Yeah. So when one party fucks up, like we'll go back to the Puerto Rican garbage.
Which taken out of context.
We talked about that before. Here's the thing with that though.
Did you hear about the Puerto Rican mayor that endorsed him?
No.
There's a Puerto Rican important official person who endorsed Trump.
That's funny. You know what's funny with not to like get way off topic here, but you know what's funny about that whole Puerto Rican thing is like 2 days before that, they had a rally for Harris and what's his face? Not Pablo. What the hell is it? Garcia, the comedian there, Mexican comedian.
Carlos Mencia, Andy Garcia.
I think it was Carlos Mencia.
Oh, God.
Could have been. I think I have it somewhere in here. No, George Lopez. That's who it was.
Oh, even worse.
So George Lopez, he was at one of their rallies, and they were talking about Trump's wall, and he goes, "Listen, Trump wanted to make Mexico pay for it," and he goes, "I hope he doesn't one day, because if you leave all the material out there overnight."
He let the public come up with their own conclusion to that end of the joke.
Everyone started laughing, but you notice how nobody on the right went, "How dare you?" No pearl clutching, anything like that. Kamala Harris didn't have to go out and denounce her involvement with anything. Nobody said anything about like racism or any bullshit like that. Nothing. Stereotypes were fucking brought up. Whoa, it's comedy. Who gives a fuck? Nothing was said about it. That was like 2 days prior. Mm-hmm. But then the Tony Hinchcliffe joke, and there's a whole fucking, But yeah, so like watching these two parties, Trump with the Hinchcliffe joke, with the rally, and then you know what's funny is every fucking one went, "How dare Trump do this?" Like he's the one that fucking said it. I'm like, oh my God. So it's automatically Trump's fault. Fine. 2 days later, what it is, maybe it was the next day, I don't fucking know. Biden goes out and he's like, "Yeah, there's very good people or whatever in my community." It was like 6 or 8 of them or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, the only garbage I see is his supporters." I'm like, how? And like the Harris campaign's got to be like, ugh. It's like you had like you had something you could have ran with and been like, "Fuck yeah, we can," and we're this close to the election, we can milk this dry. And then 2 days later, whatever the fuck it was, Biden says that. It's like, fuck me.
Oh,
and
they made a big mistake? Hold my beer.
Yeah, and that's what, and they're gonna go back and forth. Like how both of these fucking, like this incompetence up the fucking asshole. This is crazy. It's crazy how bad both of this is going. I'm like, if this was a normal election year with normal candidates, or at least one on either side, either the Trump campaign or the Harris campaign would basically be handing the presidency over to the other party on a silver platter, because there's been so many foul-ups. Like, I was like, wow. It's like, wow. Are we just paying attention this close nowadays? Or are both of these parties, I won't even just say the campaign parties here, are they that bad? Like, first off, who the fuck would get a roasting comic in not a comic atmosphere, you're not at a comedy club, and have them open in front of a bunch of people who aren't that crowd. Where was this a good idea? Like, you saw what he did on Tom Brady's roast. Who in their right mind went, hey, we should get him to open? Like, who the fuck? Like, especially in the political landscape, the atmosphere, outside of politics, there are no pearl clutching at all. There's nothing. Comedy's normal. Comedy is comedy. We've been to the comedy shows. I went with her. I went with you. It's normal. It's racist. It's big. It's fucking funny. It's supposed to be. But once you get into the realm of politics, nothing. Everyone's got a white sheet of paper. No dirt. Nothing. I don't want anything on me. And that's the way it is. Which is fucking bizarre, too. So, and you know what's funny? I notice myself doing this, too, when I see a politician, any politician, on any side, when they swear, there's part of me that goes, because, like, it's just ingrained in everyone's blood. It's like, you're not supposed to do that because you're running for office. Mm-hmm. But, like, now, like, Vance is on Joe Rogan. He's saying shit and stuff. I'm like, huh. And Walls is, like, they're all doing it. I'm like, strange.
It's like to the youth nowadays.
Well, they're like regular people, which I'm like, and I'll take a quote from Lewis Black and be like, I'm used to getting lied to. I'm comfortable with that. Like, when did you start telling the truth? When was that a thing? Why is this the way it is now? But yeah, I don't. And then, like the invite, to talk about like Joe Rogan and everything. Trump went on Rogan. Mm-hmm. All right, they have like 42 million views right now. Oh yeah. He had like, I tuned in. He put it up like an hour or whatever. No, it wasn't even that. I think it was like 30 minutes. I looked and he had like 13 fucking million views on it already. Jeez. He goes on and they talk. And it was a good episode. It wasn't like one of the best, but it was good. It was about what I expected. It wasn't going to be like when, Alex Jones is on, where the whole time you're like, what the fuck? It was going to be Joe talking with Trump. And it was what it was. And then J.D. Vance said, I want to go on. And that one dropped yesterday, I think it was. So I started watching that. That one's really, like, J.D. Vance is fucking smooth. I mean, we hear that all the time, but he talks and he's like, real. And it's really fucking weird. It's really weird because you're so used to seeing politicians when they talk. You're like, he's selling me a fucking bullshit car right now. But J.D. Vance is just talking. And that's what Joe Rogan wanted to do. He's like, I don't want to fucking talk about politics. What he talked about before Trump went on. He's like, I want to talk about politics. I just want to talk to them so everybody can get to know who they are. And so Trump went on, and I would say 2/3 of the episode was that. Just they were bullshitting. Like, once they, especially when they got into, like, UFC fights and stuff like that, they were just, like, two fucking guys sitting bullshitting about that, which is refreshing. And then J.D. Vance went, and, like, the whole fucking thing was that. And then and then Joe Rogan put out the invite for Kamala Harris.
She said no.
Well, sort of. She said, okay, I'll give you an hour on this Tuesday, but you have to come to me. And Joe Rogan's like, yeah, but this is what the show is. Like, it's always been here. You come, we talk. It's one-on-one. There's no vetting any questions or anything. We're just talking. And he's, like, clear. It's like, I don't want to talk about politics. Like I said before, he's like, I just want to talk to you. The problem is if it's not scripted, and this isn't like a right-wing take or anything like this. If it's not scripted, Kamala Harris is fucking terrible at conversation. She gets so clammed up and tight. That's when that stupid cackle laugh comes out and everything. And then it's something for everyone to latch onto and be like, this fucking broad is retarded, I swear. But that's the problem. So she doesn't, and I won't even say she doesn't want to do it. Maybe she's the one that says no. I'm more apt to say that her campaign manager or that team is like, no. Because
we said no.
I'm serious. Like, I would be willing to bet that that's the case. Because when
Someone's
she's been in interviews before, and she loves cooking, and when they brought up cooking or stuff, it's like, oh, did you use that? Like, she lights up and just starts talking like normal. Like, I bet you if she went on and just talked about shit like that, it'd be great. Like, she'd be fine. She'd be normal. She'd be smooth, and like people would be like, oh, she's a regular fucking person. But Joe will be like, well, you said this. What did you mean? And now she's got to go, and think about whatever policies and everything. Politics. And I know her campaign is going to be like, we can't have that. Because if you say one fucking wrong thing, what, now we're 4 days out? It's fucking done. It's over. Like, if it was 2 months ago, you might be able to get away. Especially with the shit that happens like 2 days, 3 days, a week, one day later. But we're 4 days out. If she says something, she'll tank her. I mean, there's enough that's come out now. It's just shit just like barely hanging on by a string. But she'll just tank herself, and that'll be it. Like, I can't. She goes on The View and says, she goes on interviews and talks. Now I'm just ranting, but she goes on interviews where they're on her side. What? CBS, The View,
ABC, MSNBC.
Yeah, and she fucks those up. Those are people that are in her back pocket. And people get clips and be like, well, I said, what? Now she was at one of her rallies. I just saw today, there's a clip of her saying, like, I've defended criminals or some shit like that. I got to see what it was. I don't even know.
There was one bit I remember seeing in an interview she did recently, which was, understand I have a plan. I have a plan and you understand it. Like, do you understand? Like, in order to move forward, there is a plan.
Yeah, she says like that all the time. What she's done that too is if she can't explain it away, especially in interviews where it's people that, like I said, MSN, stuff like that, she'll be like, you know what I'm talking about. And they'll go be like, yeah. Except I will say there was one interviewer, I think it was actually CNN, where they go, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't let her get away with it. I was like, good for fucking you. It's about time someone went, no, explain yourself. For the fucking nation. Because
Brian
when you...
something.
Brian Stelter? Or?
No, Brian Burr. Brian Meir. Something like that. It was an interview she did recently. Because every answer of hers was like, Trump. Like, every answer she gave... Oh, God. Bill Burr. No, Bill Mayer. No, not Bill Mayer. Hold on.
Is this... I don't know if this is it, but...
So remember Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw was about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you're agreeing to a bill that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am. And I'm going to work across the aisle to pass a comprehensive bill that deals with a broken immigration system. I think Jackson's question, part of it was to
Brian
acknowledge
Taft.
that America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it. And that's the point that I think is the most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in common sense and practical outcomes. Like, let's just fix this thing. Let's just fix it. Why is there any ideological perspective on it? Let's just fix the problem.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occurred.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Wow. What?
It's funny because that's not what I was talking about, but that just shows that They can't give credit where credit's due. It's like, oh, whose name we shall not mention. They do that in the fucking View. You see
He
that?
who shall not be named.
Yeah, they do that in the View.
Wow. She just can't. Is there something?
I don't know, but yeah, she goes on softball questions, whatever, in places she can't just explain things away, and that's what would happen on Joe Rogan. Like he would ask, even if it was one thing, and she would just, and that's why I don't think they're gonna let her go on.
Not now.
Yeah, and I just
They'll let her on Joe Rogan after she comes out being Trump's mistress. She was actually Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels was never a real person. It was her stage name.
You see, she is another clam up instance where she was talking about, like, they were talking about the economy. Oh, mistakes she's made. It's like, have you ever made any mistakes? She goes, oh, we've all made mistakes. I mean, you raise kids. I made plenty of mistakes. I mean, you've raised kids, right? Implying she has kids, and she doesn't fucking have kids. Like when I heard that, I'm like,
who, Stormy Daniels or Kamala Harris?
No, Kamala Harris.
Oh, Kamala. I won't call her Kamala.
Whatever it is.
Candace Owens calls her Kamala.
Kamala's a fucking Ugandan giant wrestler from back in the 80s. That's what I laugh every time. I don't call her.
Candace Owens is one of the most educated women of color that I've ever seen cross any media platform.
I don't call her Kamala because I don't want to desecrate the good name of Kamala, the Ugandan giant.
Uganda forever. Uganda forever.
Uganda forever.
Wait.
I think this is the same thing.
What, Wakanda was this?
Pennsylvania registered Republican says he's leaning toward voting for you.
What was it? Was it Wakanda forever? Was
I think so.
Uganda forever.
Thank you.
Regarding the rapid increase in the migrant population, how will you ensure that every immigrant is integrated into American society safely? What benefits and subsidies will you provide them with? And how long will these benefits and subsidies last for an individual? Most importantly, will the American citizens' taxes pay for these benefits and subsidies? And if so, how much money will be allocated?
Well, thank you, Jackson. Let's start with this. America's immigration system is broken and it needs to be fixed. And it's been broken for a long time. And part of what we need to do is always prioritize what we need to do to strengthen our border. I will tell you I'm the only person in this race among the two choices that voters have. I've personally prosecuted transnational criminal organizations in the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I have spent a significant part of my career making sure that our border is secure and that we do not allow criminals in and we don't allow that kind of trafficking to happen and come into our country. And
But you have.
As my opponent has proven himself, he would prefer to run on the problem instead of fix the problem. We have to have a secure border and we have to have a comprehensive pathway for citizenship. And that includes requiring people,
Anderson
hardworking
Cooper,
people to earn citizenship and do it in a comprehensive, humane, and orderly manner.
Let me ask you about that. I mean, you talked about the bill that Donald Trump quashed. That was in 2020.
So we're going back. Well, that was going back to the other video we just watched.
Yeah.
That was the intro to it. You know what I saw there?
She never answered. Who's going to pay for it?
Here's a question. Oh, shit! Well, almost got me. That's what she's really good at.
Hey, baby!
Now,
Go home, baby!
To be fair, so does Trump. Trump does the same thing. Like maybe once every 10 times she does, but it's politicians.
Every politician is going to dodge a question every now and again, but even when Trump rambles and he doesn't clear cut answer the question, like Trump, President Trump, is 1 + 1 = 2. What you need to see here is,
of course it does. It's probably the best 2. If I was in, it'd be a bigger 2 than it already is.
Yeah,
it's the greatest 2. People tell me that anyway. They tell me it's the greatest 2 when I was in office.
President Trump is does 1 + 1 = 2. well, let me start with this. If you have one problem and you resolve it, then you have no problems. But then when you have another problem, not only have you solved one problem, but you've resolved another problem. So now you've resolved two problems. Never answers the question, but he kind of talks around the topic. That's Trump.
Yeah.
He might not give you the most direct answer, but he will involve everything you asked him about.
Whereas Kamala goes, let me start with this. I was raised in a middle-class family.
My mother worked 10 jobs while I was 12. I had 18 years experience working at McDonald's.
I was pregnant for 38 years with 15 kids.
What? By the time I was 15, I already had 27 years working experience in politics.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm 37?
Hey, try not to suck any dick on your way through the parking lot.
Have you seen Clerks 3?
No.
Watch it.
Wait, oh no, that was Jay and Silent Bob.
The Jay and Silent Bob reboot, it wasn't bad.
And it wasn't good.
It wasn't good either.
No.
But watch Clerks 3.
Is it funny? Oh.
It had funny moments.
Was it like Super Troopers 2? Where it was Super Troopers 2 was weird to me. Like Super Troopers was funny. Super Troopers 2 was like hilarious.
No, Clerks 3 I think does what Kevin Smith always wanted to with all of his funny characters. You know how he did Jersey Girl, right? Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, George Carlin. Okay. It was a good movie, a good storytelling movie with some funny bits. That's Clerks 3. Because if you watch Clerks 3...
Really? What a shift.
I said the same thing. And then I watched it. Dude, I held off watching it for so long because I heard it wasn't a Clerks movie. It's a Clerks movie, but not of Clerks fashion. I held off watching it for so long. I watched it, and afterwards I was like, that was a better movie than I ever expected it to be. I was not disappointed. I've actually watched it a second time. And that's saying something because I've watched Clerks 1 a couple of times. I've watched Clerks 2 a couple of times. And it's been years since I've watched them ever since. This one...
It's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The first one, gritty horror movie. Second one, horror comedy. Same thing with Evil Dead. Horror movie. Second one, horror comedy. Because they know they can't top that. And they know they're just not going to... It's like, well, let's fucking...
Kevin Smith...
Let's just go crazy with it.
Kevin Smith was able to top it, but not in the comedy form.
Interesting. Well, now I'm interested.
I'm telling you.
Honestly, I didn't even know there was a Clerks 3. So you're like, Clerks 3? I'm like, there's a Clerks 3?
And the best part is, I'll say it. I'll give you two things, and it doesn't spoil anything. Clerks 1.
Mm-hmm.
Clerks 2.
All right.
Watch. You got to watch, all right? So I'm going to do this for you. Clerks 1. Clerks 2.
Right.
Clerks 3.
Huh.
And I do the circle
like
because
Kill Bill.
1, 2, 3, full circle. He wanted to do one more Clerks.
It was like ties up all loose ends and everything's just...
And it was very well done.
Cool.
Wait till you see it, dude. I'm telling you right now, you will not.
I'm not going to cry like a bitch during it. Oh, all right. So it's not one of those.
You will have an emotional moment.
I got a boner.
No, you will have an emotional moment, but it'll be, you know what? That's the first time I can genuinely say it actually. It was very well placed.
Nice. Yeah.
The emotional moment you'll have is like, I didn't want it to come, but I'm glad it did because it was a very well done. I'm going to come.
Because it made me. Do not come.
Do not come. I'm going to come.
And then, do you see the extended one before? Oh, speaking of extended, I guess that really doesn't have any bearing of what I'm going to show you here. Have you seen this? What?
What?
Anything is a dildo when you really put your mind to it. There's no such anything.
Jeez Louise. Have you seen this? I don't know if you've seen this before, but I saw this and I cracked up so much. First, I saw it on Sky News with Rita.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and they during it, they cut to her a couple times dancing at her desk to it. I'm like, what? I cracked up laughing to it. I'm like, this is fucking great.
What is it?
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
What the fuck?
Party with Beyonce.
Oh, it's crazy.
Beyonce.
Stop. Carry on.
Dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
Hold up.
Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
I love the internet. I saw that. That's fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Kids these days, I'll never know.
See The View they were talking about Biden's legacy, and he rolled his eyes.
How many? Well, what? There's 4. No, there's 5 hosts on The View.
Yeah, it's some.
They probably had to put a wet floor sign down under each and every single seat.
Basically, they said his
first time their plumbing worked in 30 fucking years.
They said Biden's legacy should be equal to President Washington's.
Joy Behar's the last time her plumbing worked was during the Watergate scandal. Get it? Open the floodgates. Fun fart.
Yeah, they said it should be equal to the first president of the United States. It's like, oh.
You mean the... Oh! They called him racist.
That wooden teeth racial fucker.
Yeah. He was a slave owner.
It's true.
So,
I mean,
according to Whoopi Goldberg, Karen Johnson, our current president, Joe Biden's presidential legacy should be compared to George Washington, our first president. A wooden teeth, racist motherfucker. So eloquently put by my co-host here.
What a fucker. Yeah, they said...
Watergate.
It would be on the same level of George Washington. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then going...
Okay, hold on. All
right.
This is definitely getting the video taken down.
Oh, God.
Is it comparable because... Fuck you, YouTube. Good night. Thank you, Rumble. Cut that out. we really got to try to not get this...
Hi, Rumble. We're still here. Well, going further with The View. Or no, this isn't The View, but Joy Reid says wanting to have children is part of a nationalist drive toward fascism.
Oh, for fuck. Oh, I heard that.
MSNBC. Reid told the Democracy at Crossroads seminar Wednesday, November 5th. Oh, the November...
Right? I mean, this bitch is fucking crazy.
Yeah, the November 5th presidential and congressional elections...
I don't know why you said she had to go back to the kitchen.
...are about a litmus test for fascism and the nationalist drive for more babies. The discussion was sponsored by the Brookings Institution, the Public Religion Research Institution, and was regarding the findings from the 15th Annual American Values Survey. I do believe, it's quoted, I do believe that this election is a litmus test for American tolerance for fascism. The elements of fascism are rooted in the nationalistic drive for more babies for the state, for women to be subordinate to men, for strongman-driven nation, and a deep sort of state-based religiosity.
Yeah, I'm not even going to fucking try to pronounce that one for you.
Right out.
Holier than thou art.
So I do believe we have a media problem. No fucking shit. That's the smartest thing that's ever come out of her. Never mind.
I'm pretty sure a lot of smart things have come in her mouth.
I don't know.
Is she pretty? Let's see. You remember?
I like how you cocked your head like a fucking dog. Like, what are you?
Hold on. Hold on. Don't say another word. You have to wait. Have that picture up and ready.
Okay. Oh, God.
Let me see that picture again.
What the flying fuck is that?
Side by side. Side by side. Let me see. It's uncanny.
Just a little eyeshadow.
That one's for us, folks.
I think that's just a little eyeshadow. That's what the difference was.
What? Her?
She went a little crazy with it. Anyway.
She went a little crazy. That's her after the makeup remover.
TV is a weird place.
That one's just for us. But if anybody knows, after we made that joke, I'm sure the enemy of mine will understand.
Oh, man.
Somebody out there's going to be like, oh, got it.
Oh, my God.
It's not like we already...
Oh, this is a couple weeks ago.
It's a Lightfoot.
There was talk about interviews. J.D. Vance was in an interview. I don't know who the fuck it was. But they were talking about, illegal immigrants. It's like one of the biggest things between the two sides.
Still, yeah.
So during the interview, there was, what the fuck? It was, this woman asked J.D. Vance, like, okay, so, let's see if I can remember these numbers roughly. She said, the workforce, or the construction force, is like, what'd she say? It was like 2/3 of the construction force in the United States are Hispanic heritage, okay? And a large portion of those is illegal, or like immigrants. Her question to Vance was, if these illegal immigrants are taken out, who's going to do those jobs? That's the same fuck. That is the same fuck. That's the same temperature. You remember a few years back when Kelly Osbourne, I think she was on The View. Go figure.
She was.
When she makes the comment and be like, "Who's gonna clean our toilets?"
Yep.
That's the same fucking. That's the same atmosphere during that. I was like, I was listening to that. I was actually down at the firehouse doing the chili for the fucking fund drive, and I was in the kitchen finishing that up, and I saw that, and they were talking about it, and I burst. I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Whoa!" It's like, who's gonna work those jobs? Well, the short answer, broad. Anybody. Here's the difference. It's like nobody's gonna fucking do it for pennies on the dollar. That's the problem. Well, I don't want to pay them more than $5 an hour to do a job where most construction workers make what? Base is like $35, $40 an hour.
It depends. I've learned with the roof.
We're talking about like building houses.
I've learned with the roof that So, if you're a framer, you might get framing rate. If you're a sheetrocker,
Oh, yeah.
you'll get. So, depending on the function of what you're doing in the role, you might get a different rate. Like, some rates are like $18-20 an hour. Some rates are $45 to $70
Right.
an hour.
Are any of them like $5 to $10 an hour?
No.
Okay.
And here's where I understand, and maybe this is me maybe having a left moment, I guess you can call it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I agree, where certain people should be taxed more. Let's say JQ Construction Group employs 50 people on book, but you have like 200 people working for you. So that means 150 of these people are undocumented, illegal,
Under
that
the
you're
table.
paying $5 an hour to get all the jobs done to net profit, let's say $1 million in a year. But you're only paying these amount of people. You're only paying these guys $5 an hour, but getting the work of 200 people, but only paying what would be about 75 people worth of labor costs. So now, not
Then
only,
be fighting words.
I'm just saying. So like when you exploit the system for gain, then yes, you should pay more. So like Kelly Osbourne said,
Well, that
who's
was-
going to clean the toilets? Like this lady asking J.D. Vance, who's going to do these jobs if all the illegals? Well, here's the thing. If all these illegals are taken out and certified citizen, legally citizenized people take these jobs, these people, these companies aren't going to net profit as much because they're going to be paying their employees, all of their employees, the proper amount. And in order to gain that money back, they're going to have to raise the prices, which, okay.
True.
But here's the thing, okay? So if you want to make that money back, they still have to pay a percentage of that taxes back. So get rid of the illegals, bring in the American people, pay them the appropriate amounts, you get your profit, you bump up your rates a little bit more, you still pay 10% of your gross income. Which, yeah, whatever. Fucking people. Fucking... Rather than, people look so fucking heavily on, Biden created 1 million jobs. How about employ 1 million people? Fuck creating 1 million new jobs.
Yeah,
employ 1 million fucking people.
You'd almost like strengthen the economy by giving people money to spend, so they have that money after working their job to spend it to stimulate the fucking economy. Whilst in the same time, you would actually strengthen the dollar because more people would have money to spend. That's fucking stupid, though.
Yeah. That's fucking stupid.
Just, I guess more rhetoric. That's what it is.
That's it.
More rhetoric and be like, no. They're trying to keep.
Cancel this video because we're spreading rhetoric.
Yeah, just bad, evil rhetoric. This next weekend.
Because you always win the argument if you accuse the other party of rhetoric.
If your rhetoric is just like, they're evil, Hitler. They're all fucking Trump's Hitler. It's Hitler. Kamala. All right, so when Trump, was it last weekend? I think Trump had his MSG rally down Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden, yep.
And like Walsh was, it's like, well, there was also a rally back in the 1930s, referring to the Nazi rally that we had over here.
Yeah.
MSG. So, again, pushing that he's a Nazi narrative. Racist Nazi. We're 4 days out. The rhetoric's just going to get crazier and crazier and crazier because, it's that much closer. Whatever. So, yeah. Kamala has also said that he's conjuring Hitler, too. That was her words, too. It's like, he's conjuring his inner Hitler and doing whatever. Mind you, here's the fucking stupid thing about this whole thing. All right, so they're running with the whole rhetoric of like, he's a Nazi and blah, 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 blah. All his supporters are fascist Nazis and they're whatever you want to call them. Okay? Fine. The same party that is saying that also is saying pro-Hamas, Free Palestine. Now, what's the group of people that suffered at the hands of the Nazis?
The Jews.
Oh! Now, what is the group of people...
1-for-1. I'm going to fucking get them. I'm going to win this game.
What is the group of people that the Hamas wants to systematically murder?
This is a toughie. The Jews?
How do you fucking support one group that's anti-Jewish and then condemn another group that's anti-Jewish? Wait a minute. This doesn't fucking add up. Oh, you know, this is the same group that...
Math ain't mathin', folks.
This is the same group that didn't nominate Shapiro as her vice president, and that was... We talked about that before. It's like, well, he is Jewish, so they have him... Like, if they have Shapiro as her running mate, now they're going to have half of the left be like, well, wait a minute, he's Jewish. He supports Palestine. What the fuck are we doing here? Or supports Israel. So... but fucking Trump's a Nazi, fucker.
Wow.
It's just fun when you notice these things, because as soon as I like the whole, it resurfaces. It's like fucking waves in the ocean, like the whole Nazi thing, and it just came back, and then I just thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute, they fucking support Hamas, like. Like, pick a fucking side.
Well, that's the thing. In person, they're supporting Hamas. On paper, the United States is supporting Israel.
Yeah. Which that's bonkers too. Like, okay,
no
so
one seems to have noticed.
Take Republicans, conservatives, independents, take everyone out of the picture.
Democrats, everybody.
No, not Democrats.
Oh,
take
okay.
everyone else out of the picture. Okay, you take everyone out of the picture. And you only have Democrats. Now, only Democrats are watching the news. And only Democrats are watching the Democrats during rallies and during, whatever they do. And they're saying, we have to help Palestine free themselves from Israel, whatever the fuck they're talking about back in the summer and everything. And at the same time, the news media and the outlets and everyone, they're saying... we have to help Israel defend themselves from Palestine. At the same fucking time, never mind any right wing or anything else, they're contradicting themselves at the same time in the news. That's what was happening over the summer.
Yeah.
Now it's quieted down.
Well, yeah, because election's coming.
Yeah, but then there again. Then they bring up the racist thing, or they bring up the Nazi thing, and then you look back and be like, wait a fucking minute here. You just supported I don't know. Oh. You see, one, Eminem, he made a statement. He rolls his eyes. Eminem made a statement, and he's like, what do you say? So we should live in a country where... you shouldn't have to fear sharing your political opinions. Okay? Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm fairly fucking certain that the left has not been censored over the last 8 years or so. Hasn't been canceled. Hasn't been, what we saw the, what the hell? Oh, Nick Bosa from 49ers, who ran up on screen, the MAGA hat. He just ran up on screen during Purdy's interview during the last game they had last weekend. And now there's a bunch of fans and everyone be like, he needs to be fined. He needs to be suspended and this and that and the other thing. All he did was he didn't say anything. He just showed a fucking hat. And now everyone's like, oh, fuck that guy. Wasn't even preaching anything.
Hold on.
That didn't come from the right.
Listen to this.
All right. It's Tom McDonald.
Put your pride flags high, tin walls is coming out the closet. One more time. This looks like a job for me. I don't care about the economy. I'm a billionaire, so if you're me, it don't matter who wins the presidency. I'm not afraid.
It gets better.
I'm holding hands with illegal aliens.
Well, I think
that's my favorite.
So Tom McDonald, you know, you obviously know who he's going to vote for. You know who's fucking surprised me? Who I was like, wow, I honestly did not fucking see that one coming. Granted, never really shared opinion or anything ever before. Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think, is going to vote Kamala Harris.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, huh.
He's entitled to have his own opinion. I'm just wondering I'm not asking you I'm not telling you to explain yourself to me, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Now, he didn't directly say it though,
but if he was like, if the general impression was given that he would vote Kamala Harris,
I think it was.
Why? I just want to understand his reasoning.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I might not agree with it, but the best part about being an American is you can have your opinion, I can have mine.
I think Dave Bautista put out that video where he was like shadow boxing or whatever the fuck he was doing. Like, you know, he was super on board with Harris. And then Kane and The Undertaker put theirs out and they were sitting next to Trump there. And, you know, he's like, you can either vote Batista, Harris, and Walls, or you can vote for The Undertaker, Kane, and Trump. And then Batista's video was out there, and then Stone Cold chimed in underneath and said, well put, Dave. And then there was something else he put down too, heavily implying that that's what the way he was going to vote, or at least supporting you. Which I saw that, I'm like, huh. And then of course you read it, and like everyone's like, oh, he's dead to me. I'm like I don't like whatever. You vote for whoever you want. Like whoever you're voting for, fine. The point is, get the fuck out and vote. Like vote. Let's see 200. Let's see 210 million fucking voters in this next election.
Here's the thing. But regardless of who you want to vote for or not, you have an opinion. That doesn't change who you are as a person. What you do after the vote determines who you are as a person to me.
Yeah, that's a big one. Like
the fact
so
that
if you're gonna riot and shit like that, regardless, fuck you.
Yeah.
Unless it's some crazy ass. Like we were talking about earlier, it's like, oh, Trump's in, be like, well, we didn't charge you with anything. Fuck you. And we're going to start locking up your supporters. It's completely different. But if you're talking about like, well, fuck this person, I'm going to start breaking windows. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, no. If you can, like, I drive for a living. That's my job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to vote one way or the other. Whoever I vote for. I go to work the next day and continue to do my job. Who I am as a person shouldn't be dictated by who I vote for.
And yeah, that's what you should do. Like, I think Charlie Kirk said that during an interview. It's like, what's going to happen if Trump loses on? And he said, I'm going to go back to work the next day and tell my kids, I tried my best to, save this country. And that's what you should do. Okay, well, that sucks. Pretty much the same way. There's a little more weight behind it, a lot more weight, but same way as like 49ers losing in the Super Bowl, the Yankees losing in the World Series. Like, well, that sucks. Moving on.
Yep, my alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning. That comes pretty quick.
I better get. Yeah, we're gonna have a show Tuesday. It's gonna be a long day the next day, but fuck it. Election day only comes once every 4 years, so at least presidential election day.
The FIFA World Cup.
What is it? Is this one? I have to. Yes, this one. I think I sent it with Right, I think I shared it with you. I put it in the group chat, but it made me laugh. Open. What are you doing, piece of fucking shit? No. All right. Well, I'll just go find it directly. Oh.
I'm sorry, they, them.
That's stuck in my head now. Here it is. I always fucking do that. I hit my YouTube button.
Here's Mikey!
Watch.
He just knocked Cactus Jack out.
Vote for Kamala Harris.
You did. Proof that.
Says, this is why chair shots to the head are banned. Brain damage can lead to some particular behavior.
Vote for Kamala Harris.
It's already here. Oh, man.
Fuck.
So, yeah. This Tuesday is election day. We're 4 days out. We're going to do another show then. And we're going to pay attention. And then that's not going to be out till obviously the next day. But I think it'll be a fun one. It'll be fun to see how everything tracks. Republican voters have been out in droves already. I think there was like 43 million votes already cast. And like showing heavily leaning right in a lot of swing states, especially Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I guess they were talking about out of the, what was there, like 9 swing states? If right now, the way it's projected, if Trump wins 2 of the 9, being Pennsylvania, I think it was Wisconsin, even if Harris gets all the other ones, it's not enough to beat Trump. But I've seen other polls where like Harris has like a 1 point or
lead.
1 or 1.5% lead.
Yeah.
But they compared it to 2020 and 2016 where both Hillary and Biden had like a 4 or a 2.5% lead, and it was way closer than that. So if that shows any relevancy to now in this election, then that would lean more toward Trump. And I've seen other ones. If you look at what is it, Predict It? I think it's Predict It, or what's the one Vegas lines there where they track this stuff and they actually take real bets and they're watching like how everything's tracking like poll wise.
There are people that gamble on the election.
Oh yeah, of course there are. Are you kidding me? Look at the things they gamble on in the Super Bowl. How many points are going to be by the end of the first quarter? You know, of course there are. But you watch that, and they have Trump up by like 12, like in double digits now. Just because, like I said earlier, like the campaigns. I mean, Trump has his blunders. I think the difference between Trump and Kamala is when Trump says something like they're eating the dogs and cats, there's some truth behind it, but he just comes, he's like Alex Jones. He just comes out and says it. And like, what the fuck? It just like backhands you right in the fucking bam. Oh, but when Kamala says it says whatever, I'm like, well, that's, I think most people just go, no.
Yeah.
That's
when
wrong.
Trump says some crazy shit, it's what? When Kamala says some crazy shit, it's no.
With Trump, it's like, I've never heard that before. Let me look it up. And Kamala, you're like, no. At least that's
Like
me
she
anyway.
said.
I'm like, wait a minute. Let's backtrack for a second and look up to see what the fuck you're talking about. And there were some instances where Trump was like talking about people eating animals. Like, well, that did happen like here and there, which is fucking wild. But I don't know if it's a pandemic or an epidemic.
Ow. Got it. Remember I told you my ear?
Oh.
I got hit by metal? Well, I put a Band-Aid on it to not pick the scab because I got problems.
He's got nervous problems. You don't fix that?
Meth. What?
That was so quick. I was going to say, I don't remember the name of that game. We're playing Warhawk on Dragons. I'm not doing it, not tonight. I might jump on Helldivers. I might do that. I'm maxed out in that now. 150.
Just going to give you my fucking login information.
I can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
No. I'm not doing that.
You have more time than I do.
Do I, though? I don't
Probably
even
not.
know.
No.
I have the same amount of time as everybody else. We all only have 24 hours in a day. It's just how you spend it.
Yeah, I need like 8 more hours a day. Just put me up to like 32. That'd be fine.
God, we'd only be like 29.
Just be in my 20s again.
But then the average age of everyone would be like 56.
She's not a cougar if she can control her pooper.
Bye.